Hello and welcome to another episode of Developer Let's Play. Here at the Housemarque office, we have a special guest today, Eugene Jarvis. Welcome. How's it going?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to play what, Defender on a 6-inch screen here.
This is to the viewers, it's going to be a bigger screen, of course. Hit that full screen button, but for us, we have a system here that kind of conflicts it. Anyway, we're going to be playing Defender, and you were a big part of making this game?
This was my first game back in the day.
The first game in, I think, 80...
Yeah, this was 79, 80. It came out
79,
in
80.
80.
Like you started still in...
I guess really, actually more 80, more of an 80 thing.
Anything.
Yeah,
and apparently shipped a couple copies, and then people in arcades.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and we had a lot of fun. Got a lot of blisters, you know. And,
let's start playing it because it seems like an intense game.
Okay.
And go ahead. And,
controls are a little weird today, so
they're switched.
You know, switch whatever. You know, I mean, I thought I had the perfect configuration.
It's a custom setup.
But I guess you guys disagree. So.
We do what we can. Can't always have the perfect setup. But yeah.
Okay, let's
see how it goes. So of course, anybody can draw conclusions from here that it's fairly close to RESOGUN, a game that Housemarque made. And so if I say that we took inspiration from this title, would I be close there? See, I know I'm interrupting your game.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, I suck at it,
but what's the premise? What's the premise?
You know, you have your aliens invading from outer space, which in 1980 it was Space Invaders. It was a danger. I mean, we were worried about that.
Was it a gamble to do like a sci-fi?
No, everything was sci-fi.
Exactly.
Everything was space. So it was just that was
easy category to go.
And it was the cool thing is that
put a human there.
Yeah, you can't stay at home all. Sometimes you're better off with terminating.
A lot of people playing RESOGUN also might know that you can't always get all the humans, but so it hasn't changed in about the.
Well, the cool thing about space was there was no background.
Right.
Which, although we see little twinkling stars, and that was
a couple of different colors there.
That was a big deal. I spent a few weeks on that.
So is it random or?
They I think some of them move around. Some of them, I guess a lot of them.
After some twinkling action.
Yeah, after every now and then they move, and then they twinkle a little bit, and then notice they also scroll at a different rate.
Yeah.
From the background, so it's kind of it gives you we call it a parallax. It's kind of a poor man's 3D.
It feels like there's a front and a back.
Yeah, exactly. It was VR, the VR of its day.
Those times, this was what we had. But it's all about those gimmicks that make it work.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
well, it adds that suggestion, that environment. It's
exactly.
Yeah, it's.
Tell me. One of the biggest innovations, at least from my perspective, was that you have this screen or a kind of a map up on top, so you can see a bigger part of
exactly.
the whole level.
Yeah, and that was cool because it was you could have more than one screen. So that everybody was playing Space Invaders and Asteroids. And,
it was very confined to that.
And it was all one screen. And so the idea, we wanted to get the feeling of flying.
Yeah.
The feeling of moving through a larger world. And to do that on one screen, everything would have to be microscopic. So the idea was
expanding it,
basically scrolling the screen, but then in order to keep the gameplay going, you would show the scanner so you could show what was happening around the world. And kind of have this larger world where stuff is actually happening independent of the player.
Yeah,
there's other intelligent life forms who have their own purposes.
It's one of the first mini maps.
Yeah, I think so.
So you can really have you can see more of the world and maybe choose your strategy. Maybe I need to go left, I need to go right. There's a couple of humans there. I need to do that.
Yeah, kind of the reversing was the other kind of part of that, where you had the freedom of motion throughout this kind of larger world.
You feel like you're traveling.
Yeah, you're traveling, and it's a world populated by different things.
There's a bunch of aliens.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's kind of Earth really, but maybe not. I don't.
It could be Mars.
It's kind of bizarre because we thought of those things as astronauts.
Right.
So maybe it's like the surface of the moon. Or something.
Yeah.
I really don't know what it is, but
It is red.
yeah.
It's got, well, at least the outline.
Maybe it's
red.
Mars. Like
That's what I was thinking. Maybe,
maybe
it
it
could
was
be
Mars.
Mars.
But so it was kind of like they were little astronauts walking around, and somehow the aliens, decided they wanted to, I guess,
They're gonna
kind of digest them
Kind
or
of mess around
kind
there.
of, I guess it's kind of a board kind of thing, where they wanted to go after the. Oops, we're out of credits here. Let's see
We can add
Where's the
something
money?
here.
Where's the money?
There we go.
The
It's a custom cabinet system.
yeah.
So you want to save all the humans from the evil aliens. There's a couple of
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
alien types.
Yeah.
But even they are reminiscent of space invaders that are coming down.
Yeah, so they're the green guys coming down. That was kind of the big deal then.
The green man.
You had to have green guys coming down.
Yeah.
And the kind of the innovation was defending something. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Where you had you had friendlies in the game. Most of I think I told the game before that Defender, it was all about you just killed everything. You're just
Exactly.
like you were there and you wanted to kill things, and that's kind of really the basic fun. But
It's a good starting point.
But the idea was to have these friendlies that then gave you a purpose other than just survival.
Yeah.
So you were trying to save them. You were, and it's amazing. Like when you'll do so much more for something else than you'll do for yourself. I mean, you'll risk your life.
For a
Right.
anonymous friend.
Right, for a
on
friend.
the Martian surface there.
Exactly.
Try to get them all home.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It's kind of like your dog is running out in front of a truck, and you dive to
Giving
try
your
to
life away.
rescue your
But this,
dog.
I guess it's essential to the premise that you can have this way of making the game harder for yourself. You
Yeah,
can sort of
yeah.
by your actions choose if you want to just kill aliens or
Right.
also save all humans, and how does that go?
Exactly, but then there was kind of an added moral factor where
You shouldn't leave no man left behind.
Exactly. If you let your humans all expire or
Yeah.
be claimed by the aliens, then number one, they form these mutants which come after you,
Yeah.
and B, the entire planet explodes at some point.
It's a bad strategy.
So you basically it's the game economy as you would call it today.
Yeah.
Where you really to actually succeed you really need to help other people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an overall moral
It's
message.
a good message for the kids. Like, I gotta do some human rescuing today. Help out a brother.
You need to help out. Charity is actually pays off.
It's essential to
Yeah.
our humanity.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about the
Yeah.
original control setup? Some people deemed it difficult.
Right.
What's your take on that?
It was actually. I thought it was brilliantly conceived. The original controls, which unfortunately are nothing like.
We don't have it here, but
Yeah.
it had this thing that you have to switch direction.
Right, and so there was a reverse, basically, this is emulating this. It was an up-down reverse
Yeah.
joystick, which was on the left hand, and then there was. I'm sorry, the joystick went up down, and there was a reverse button.
Yeah, you
so
had a button
it was
switch.
very nicely engineered because you could just hit with your thumb.
Yeah.
You just boom, boom, boom.
And it's a mechanic that was very unique.
Yeah, and originally I wanted a 4-way joystick.
Yeah.
To go left and right and up and down. It didn't. In 1980, we really couldn't find a reliable
For
joystick,
Right.
And so, but they had these up-down buttons from Space Invaders, which were up-down levers. So that was great. And then just a simple push button, which is from a pinball game.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
And so that was the left-hand control, which very reminiscent of Space Invaders, where you were going, left to right rather than up to down. So it was kind of, Space Invaders had a left to right lever and then a button firing.
Yeah.
So kind of taking a left hand, almost Space Invaders, but kind of turning it sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other hand was really the classic asteroid Space Wars thrust fire control, but with the added fun of a smart bomb.
Yeah.
And then there was the hyperspace thing, which also was from asteroids and Space Wars.
We took that initial design and we put it into. Well, to me, this is let's say that RESOGUN, which you
Yeah, yeah.
it's a game that clearly takes a lot of inspiration from here.
Right.
We made it into a twin stick, even though it's not a twin stick officially. It has two, dual sticks that have directional shooting, and we sort of make it the casual one. It's clearly easier than compared to, for example, Defender.
Right.
And it's beautiful to see how even our players are fairly hardcore, but then the level that this was fairly difficult, it was still it was a niche, but it was niche, very successful niche game. A lot of people wanted to overcome that challenge. I think that was a part of it. Learning it is part of the challenge.
It was a kind of the gauntlet. And it was kind of the Flappy Birds of its day. Where it was just as ridiculously impossible. Like 8 buttons, and nobody had seen this stuff. Every game before.
You see the buttons you kind of want to try. Just to see how it works.
And it was just like daring you to defeat this thing, and that was the kind of the arcade spirit.
It's kind of like the Defender cabinet corner calling you chicken, and you're like, all right, now let me show you a little bit.
Man against machine. I mean, that was the.
Well, Man Against Machine is also a theme for another game of yours called the Robotron.
That's right.
Which we might play at some point.
Okay.
And hey, thanks for this. I think this has been a really cool, brief introduction. For us, it's important because RESOGUN, of course, we did this mini map on a cylinder type of thing. Right. It's a bit different, but it's very cool to see your view and how maybe this translated in something as an inspiration for what we do. So.
Well, I think it's cool to see that game form continue to evolve and expand and
modern interpretation.
Yeah, it is. I think
we're like
it's
the artists from this era, taking it a little
taking it a little farther.
Artistic freedoms there.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Eugene. Appreciate it. This is Defender. Go check out our Twitter at Housemarque, and hopefully we'll do some other videos with Eugene also. So check those out. Thank you.
There's a bunch of enemies there.
I don't. Should I just blow at them?
It's pretty cool though. Whoa! Carrots exploded. What?